Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE SummerSlam 2013. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the match in the pre-show with Dean Ambrose and RVD, which I felt was actually a really good, entertaining match. The fact that they had an hour-long pre-show versus the half-hour-long one gave them a lot more time to work with this match, and they definitely took that time to allow both of these guys to get over their spots really well. At least in my own mind, I like the interaction with the other Shield members coming out, followed by Big Show and Mark Henry. Wish that would have led into something a little bit later in the show, but at least they had that interaction there. That maybe this is going to continue on for a little bit longer. So definitely a good way of starting the show on the pre-show. Now for the main show, the way they started it with Bray Wyatt versus Kane in the Ring of Fire match. Now this is I felt was a good match to actually start the show off with, just on the aspect that it's really hard to set. It's really hard and time consuming to set that up, so it's easier to start the show with it instead of trying to have some kind of break in the middle of the show so they can set it up. But also just a good way of getting the crowd into the actual event as well. The match itself, I felt it was about average in that aspect, just on the aspect that I would have liked to have seen them have Bray Wyatt go over in a way that he didn't need the Wyatt family to actually help him out, because that was the purpose of the match, was to keep them from being in the ring. Now, I did like all the attempts of the Wyatt family trying to get in the ring, which eventually led to them covering the fire with the flame retardant blanket and then getting into the ring and allowing Bray Wyatt to win the match. And of course, the subsequent ending to the match where you had Wyatt win, and then they at that point took out Kane. So I liked where they went with that. I liked the aspect of the lights going back out and having the Wyatt family carry Kane out of the arena. That was a nice little touch that they put into it. So they did at least. The match itself I felt was about average, but the overall story arc to where they went with it, I felt they did a really good job with it. Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow, I felt was just a phenomenal match from both of them. I felt they did a really good job with and they were given actually a lot of time for their match in general, and it really showed what they could do in the what both of them really could do in the ring at that point. So overall, I felt that the Cody Rhodes Damien Sandow match was actually just a really good match. And then they followed it up with Alberto Del Rio versus Christian, which was just an even better match. Both of them really worked well together, and it definitely showed off. Here. They put on a great match for the crowd to watch. Just the way that they were, you had Christian pretty much reversing everything Alberto Del Rio was doing, and then subsequently, eventually, it would lead to Alberto Del Rio getting the actual clean win, which was a little weird that they would go that route. I felt they would actually have gone away of him getting a DQ win versus a clean win, so they could continue some kind of storyline with both him and Christian. Maybe they will, but with the way they ended the match last night, they kind of say they were probably going to go in a different direction with Christian and Alberto Del Rio, and this will probably be the end of that storyline. But who knows? They might just keep it going anyway. It was a fun and entertaining match, so they might try to get one more match out of that. The match with Brie Bella and Natalya was decent. It was a decent match between the two of them, and obviously they were given some time, which probably made it even better because they could time out spots a little bit easier versus just the 1-2 minute typical Divas match that you would see. So it was good to see that they at least put on a decent match, and obviously they put it on the show because of how the Total Divas show is actually being considered a hit on the E! Network. So it's alright that they actually put it on the actual pay-per-view itself, and in that sense. The Brock Lesnar CM Punk match, again, just a great match between the two of them. I'm glad they added the no DQ stipulation. It just added that extra dynamic in there, and honestly, it truly gave it gave that extra dynamic in there, and it allowed you to think that CM Punk could truthfully win this match, because you would feel that in a typical type of fight with Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, Lesnar would probably win hands down. So having the extra no DQ stipulation in there just added that little bit more sense of disbelief into, you know, Punk can actually win this match. Though I did like the times that he was getting his own offensive maneuvers in there. It wasn't just necessarily him getting weapon shots in there. He was getting off his typical offense. So it was just overall a really good match between the two of them. Hopefully we'll get to see one more with them. I'm not sure if that's going to be the truth. I know it's not going to be the truthful end of the storyline between CM Punk and Paul Heyman, but hopefully we can get one more match out of CM Punk and Brock Lesnar somewhere down the road. The match with Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn versus AJ Lee and Big E Langston, it felt kind of a throwaway match, which is kind of sad for where they were initially pushing Dolph Ziggler to earlier this year with having him have the world title and everything. But I guess it was mainly just the placement of the match itself, because it was placed in between the Brock Lesnar CM Punk match, which was an absolutely great match, and then it was placed before the Daniel Bryan Cena match, which I'll get to next. But yeah, it just felt like it was a throwaway match. It wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it felt almost out of place where it was on the show, at least just to me, in that sense. So yeah, that's basically all I gotta say about that one. The Cena Daniel Bryan match, again. You had the great match with Damien, Sandow, and Cody Rhodes. You had a great match with Alberto Del Rio and Christian. You had a great match with CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, and this was just another great match. Overall, I really felt the show was really good. The spots that they pulled with Daniel Bryan and Cena, it just goes to show that Cena can pretty much work with anybody in the ring, and get some. And of course, Daniel Bryan, you know his work. It's always great work. And then Cena's work, you know, he just happens to be able to work with just about anybody, and it just pulled together for a great fun match to watch. The ending to it, where, you know, where Daniel Bryan gets the pin with basically the running Shining Wizard, I thought was a nice way of doing it, allowing him to go over clean. You had no interference during the match, and all in all, I felt that match itself was just a great match. So, a great match to watch. Well timed, well paced during the entire thing. The ending, of course, after that. Honestly, I kind of get a little mixed bag of this one. On this one. I liked what they did to get Orton to cash in the Money in the Bank, having Triple H turn heel. You could definitely see it coming with Triple H not actually leaving the ring at any point in time. You felt he was going to turn heel, pedigree Daniel Bryan, and of course Randy Orton would cash in. I like the aspect of Orton coming out before this even happened. I felt that they did that, and I felt that they did that well. It's like they made it feel like he was just there to taunt Daniel Bryan with the briefcase, and he was going to leave, and then that eventually was like, and then eventually lead into the bam where Triple H put the pedigree on to Daniel Bryan, and then Randy Orton cashing in. So I did like what they pulled with it. I guess it felt more predictable. Because typically with the Money in the Bank cash-in, someone else does the damage, or the person with the Money in the Bank, they run in, they pick up the scraps, they cash it in, either just get the quick pin, or they'll have to do their finisher one time, and then it would be over with. Honestly, I felt they should have. I felt they should have tried something different with Randy Orton in the terms of cashing in the Money in the Bank. I would have liked to have seen him create his own opportunity to cash in the Money in the Bank, like. You know, you have the ending to the match where Cena shakes Daniel Bryan's hand, leaves. You can even keep Triple H out there because you at least need the referee. You need some kind of referee out there. And then afterwards, I have like Orton run in through the crowd, either hit Daniel Bryan with a briefcase or hit him with an RKO and put the beat down. Kind of try. I was kind of hoping for something different. What they did was good, but I was hoping for something different. So overall, I felt the actual SummerSlam pay-per-view was a really great show. You didn't really have a bad match on the show. The placement of the Big E Langston, AJ, and Caitlyn Dolph Ziggler's match was a little odd, or just felt out of place for where it was. Then again, it was stuck in between two great main event matches right there. So, but overall, you didn't really have a bad match on the show. I felt it was I had a lot of fun watching it, and we'll see where they continue on with these storylines. Obviously, you're going to have some kind of deal with the power trip episode between Triple H. Is he actually joining Vince, or is this just a way to try to gain a little bit more power over Vince in some way, shape, or form? So we'll see where they go with that here in the future. Obviously, you have the Heyman Punk's deal, whatever they're going to do with the World Heavyweight title situation as well. So we'll see where they continue on going. I felt SummerSlam was a great show to watch. And yeah, that's my review for this year's SummerSlam. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.